stuff. I agree with you. The tush push is almost to the point of ridiculousness.
Well, I was pro tush push, but until you get those video calls or the actual replays of the offensive line standing over the ball, you had both the guards in the wrong spot lining up off sides. There were clearly things wrong with the play from a technical standpoint that are worthy of flags. If the NFL or the refs are not going to officiate it, I would guarantee already that those pieces of the game film are sent into the NFL for review.
So you think what they were, in your opinion, what you saw, Kyle, you think that they were doing things they usually don't do on that said play?
I mean, but they talked about it in extents throughout the game. Sometimes they just get away with it.
Sure,
but they were the false starts.
My thing is this:
they haven't always done that.
My thing is this: if you didn't ban it in March, I don't want to hear about it now.
I disagree, because now you actually have video evidence of them in a huge game. If the refs are not going to call it right, here's what you're going to do to the NFL. If you're going to send it in, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, and say, all right, here's what happened in the tush push. It obviously was a big changing point in the game. I'm not sure if they would have stopped it anyway. But the point being, you're going to referee it properly and officiate it properly. And if there is a problem here in terms of false starts, guys lining up on the wrong side of the ball, whether on the Chiefs side or the Eagles side, if you're not going to call this stuff, you can't have the play. And if you do call this stuff, then we can't say anything, because we can't stop it if you're going to officiate it properly. Because it cost probably the Eagles getting a touchdown on a play where they probably shouldn't have on that 4th and goal. And even though they should have gotten it on the 3rd and goal where Hurts was in, they basically showed he was in on the replay, and they decided to replay the down. Bizarre. But now that there's actual evidence, I don't see the NFL is going to think two ways. All right, do we put more blames on the referees and that the referees have to do this better, or do we just ban the play? They're going to think, let's just ban the play.
Think they could do that mid-season?
No, definitely not. Okay. No, but that is going to be video film sent in to the NFL in exchange for, all right, well, if you're going to do this right. I think that it might develop more steam this coming round than that last year.
Is it because this happened against Kansas City that it's getting this much play?
Maybe, but it was
because I think this is probably what coaches and staffers were arguing here in West Palm Beach.
Here's the thing. And I haven't remembered a time where it was that blatant. I don't remember the last time it was
Fair
that
enough.
blatant.
And I tend to agree with that.
That was blatantly incorrectly officiated. That was it. And the officials were a problem all day yesterday. This happens early in the year. The refs are just getting loose, just like the players are. All day, the referees they were overly involved in too many games. They were overly involved in the Carolina-Arizona game.
Oh, my God.
They were overly involved in the Jacksonville-Cincinnati Bengal game. They were overly involved in the Denver Colts game, which basically cost Denver the game. They were involved in too much. And they were involved probably a little. They probably should have been involved a little bit more in the Kansas City Eagle game. That's just the nature of sports. The referees are not going to be great there. But, I mean, a terrific day. And the Chiefs-Eagle game was the biggest game in terms of implication, but it wasn't even the best game.
No.
And now you sit here, Chiefs 0-2 for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' tenure there, and they don't have an easy schedule. So it's only going to get harder, especially in that division, and that division's pretty good. Here's the difference. The difference between the good and the bad teams in the NFL every single year is their record in one-score games. That determines whether a team is 6-11 or a team is 12-5. Every single year, it is their record in one-score games. The Chiefs are now 0-2 in one-score games, where last year they basically won every one-score game on the schedule. And now they're not winning those games, at least through 2 games. That's where I would draw the fire alarm just a little bit, because that is quite literally when teams become good or bad is how they perform in one-score games.
And it just seems like the members of that Chief team are getting old. I mean, the Kelce drop in the end zone, my goodness. Like, I love having Travis Kelce's back. I really do. It's hard to argue that. And I am a part of the crew that thinks that game is what ultimately lost the Chiefs the game. If you score a touchdown there, I think the Chiefs go on to win. I know it was still early on in the game, Kyle, but I know there was a lot of time, but like I think that momentum shift is something.
It cost them a touchdown.
Yeah, that momentum shift is something. And in a game where it was a field position battle and there weren't a lot of touchdowns, you got to take advantage. I think maybe Andy Reid has lost his step a little bit. Kyle, they can't run the ball. They cannot run the ball.
And they don't have playmakers.
Correct. So I think the Chiefs have to look at themselves in the mirror very long and ask themselves, what the heck do we have to do to turn this thing around? I can't count them out just yet. I can't do that. Count,
No,
I
it's
want
not
to.
fair. It's not fair.
Count, I want to, but I can't do it yet. With everything that they've
It's not
been through.
black and white, but this team is definitely substantially the worst team that we have seen in the Patrick Mahomes tenure, by far.
Agreed. And you had week 1 where they couldn't stop Justin Herbert, and then this past week where they couldn't get the big play on offense. Outside of Patrick Mahomes scrambling for first downs and doing what he can, I'm with you. I don't think the game, I don't think he played horrible, but he didn't do anything to win the game. You know what I mean? He didn't make that crazy play. You know, in years past, it was the crazy throw to Tyreek Hill or, oh my God.
It was misfires. To Thornton, he had that misfire down the left sideline. I know he got it a little later on in the game, but like these are crucial plays in the game where Mahomes is having throwing misfires. And it's not all because of the playmakers. It's because of him too.
And Kyle, I know you think the tush push is a big part of it, why the Eagles won, and I agree, but I argue that the Eagles out-chiefed the Chiefs. Hurts threw for 100 yards. At the end of the game, he had Chris Jones going, 100 yards, bro. And Jalen Hurts going, we won the game. That's all they care about. That's all the Eagles care about.
Because you look on the other side, outside of a 60-yard touchdown to Thornton on Mahomes' side, Mahomes had 115 yards.
Right.
So outside of a Hail Mary attempt trying to get back into the game, Mahomes did absolutely nothing too. And Chris Jones is talking to Jalen Hurts, talking about, oh, you're not doing anything on offense. Yeah, he's not doing anything on offense, but he doesn't care. If you win, the history is written by the victor. You think Mahomes cared last year? All those terrible games he had? No.
God, no.
It's getting flipped. It's getting flipped a little bit. The Chiefs have now won, not one, 2 games that they would win probably 10 out of 10 times any other year. Those are 2 games, one in their building, in a crucial divisional game. They would win both those games in other years, and they did not win that this year. That's where I would get a little nervous.
And the Eagles dethroned the Chiefs, by the way. It's official. They
dethroned them at the Super Bowl, but yes.
But like winning in Kansas City is officially dethroned.
Yeah, you beat them twice in 3 games.
Correct.
You can't win twice. What are you going to say now?
New sheriff.
What are you going to say? I mean, can they win ugly every game? Yeah, they'll do it. They don't care. They do not care. They haven't even done anything on the passing attack yet, and they got 2 good receivers.
Right. A.J. Brown under 30 yards for the 2nd straight game.
Doesn't matter. Saquon Barkley would say it post-game. He's like, we won. All right. We won. Saquon Barkley didn't even kill them. Doesn't matter.
That's the culture you need. And say what you want about Sirianni. You know, Sirianni has had his trials, trust me. But wow, they got a culture there. Top to bottom.
The difference between good and bad is how you handle yourself in 1-score games. That's it. That has always been the black and, if you want to put it black and white, I'm not out on the Chiefs, but the black and white in terms of whether a team is good or bad, check their record in 1-score games. That is really the determining factor of whether a team is really good or not. And the Chiefs were the best at it every single year. And now the Eagles are becoming the best in 1-score opportunities throughout the game. Good for the Eagles. And sitting at 2-0 quietly. I mean, it drives me crazy with that stupid tush push. And I was pro tush push. Don't stop. You can't stop it. Well, if you're going to run it illegally, then let's have a different conversation.
But it's like it's probably been being ran illegally.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
That's the first time I blatantly noticed it. In playoff games, it didn't come up, but like that was what Brady was saying. How are you not calling this?
You wonder, and I agree. It was bad this against the Chiefs, and maybe this was the week that these TV companies, but like Fox and CBS really wanted to focus on it. But Kyle, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're not going to ban it, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. If it didn't get banned back in March, I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's not about the play. It's about the refereeing of the play. If you're gonna fine, let the play happen. Call the plays right. That you're missing blatant false starts and illegal procedures and offsides. That's what you're missing. That's 5 to 10 yards here. And when they're doing it on 4th and short, 4th and inches, they're not running that play anymore with 5 yards to go. So that changes the entire drive if they were to call things like that. That's where I think that it made a big difference.
I found it weird that like this past Sunday was where we're making a stand on it now. We should have been doing this a long time ago then. That's my pushback.
Now you see it in the front and center on the Fox Game of the Week. But a lot of other good